Welcome back to Lone Star Roads. My name is Justin Frizzell. Make sure you find us online, LoneStarRoadsTV.com, and then tailgate us on Twitter at Lone Star Roads. And go track down our buddies at the Credit Union of Texas as well. You can find them on Facebook. And not only are they just great people, but they offer up autographed copies of the music from all the guests that appear on Lone Star Roads TV. And by the way, special how to do to Kathy, the lady that gives me coffee every single morning there at the Shell station down in Kennedale. Her and her husband, big fans of the show, and they just recently signed up as new customers to the Credit Union of Texas. So thank you, Kathy, for that. I know they sure do appreciate it. Sitting right here with me, Mr. Michael Padgett. Hey, buddy.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you? Enjoyed that, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
How you been?
Good, very good.
Everything going good for you, man?
Good, very good.
I know you were talking about a while ago when we were talking about what songs we were going to play. You were telling me that you want to hear something new.
Right.
And I felt like that the self-titled EP hadn't been out, long enough where all of a sudden you're ready to go new just yet. But apparently it's you got stuff in the tank, huh?
Yeah, we're actually going to the studio next week, starting on the new project.
Where are you going to go to?
EP. So with Bart Rose at Fort Worth Sound.
Oh yeah. Sure enough.
Yeah,
he's got his name on a lot of records, man.
Yeah,
he's good at what he does.
I've done some work with him one time before, and was going to do it last time with him, but things got mixed around and couldn't get in there, and so now it's just it's time to do it again, and we're only going to do 6 this time, so
right.
It shouldn't be too long before it's out. Actually, I think we're going to end up releasing it probably in February. So we don't want to push it too hard, too fast, and take our time on it.
I'm curious to find out, and you and I have been hanging out together for a long time, but I've never really asked the question, and because sometimes it's just the obvious question. But I'm always curious, what was it that made you get started writing songs into the music business?
That's a good question. There's a lot of different answers. I mean, a lot of things combined. I've always loved music.
Yeah.
When I was younger, my sister and my dad used to get mad at me because I'd sing karaoke and I'd try to sound like George Strait, do the frog in your throat.
No, I don't know. Let's hear some.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. But
oh, Amarillo by morning.
No, yeah, but they used to get mad at me, and I picked up a guitar one time, and it had one string on it, and I played a Nirvana song, just like the riff of it, And I told my dad, I said, I want to learn how to play guitar, and he said, well, go buy strings then, So I went and got some strings, and he taught me C, D, all the major chords,
And how old were you at that point?
I was 18 years old. I mean, I'd never.
Right. So
really,
at that point, had you developed this rich baritone voice that you carry around?
No, I guess not. I don't know. I was still a youngin' then. But no, I never. Like I said, I didn't find my voice until after I learned a Don Williams tune, and I sang it for my mom and dad and my sister at the dinner table.
Love Don Williams. Which one was it?
Don Williams. It was what song was it? I can't remember what song it was now, but it was one or two Don Williams tunes. I learned those, and I learned some Pat Green stuff right away, And but I sang that, and my parents were like, "Man, you actually found your voice. It sounds like it." And then I went out and started playing, and then of course I was compared to Pat, and your voice sounds just like Pat Green. And
I've heard that a bunch.
Get it a lot, man, a lot. But I mean, it's a compliment because he's got a great voice. So.
Sure. So did you get to bump into him picking for premies?
Oh yeah, I talked to him a little bit.
Trade that story back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
So, how many people know Michael Padgett as the singer-songwriter versus Michael Padgett as Century 21 real estate agent?
A lot more people, I think, singer-songwriter, because I kind of stay under the radar on the Century 21 Judge Fight, just because my wife, Sarah, she's amazing at, what she does, and I pretty much just help her out now because she's so busy. So now I'm just concentrating on music and just trying to throw my name out there in the music field, and instead of the whole Century 21 thing.
Right.
So,
but there's a lot of that goes on where, there's the guys that'll take the stage, Friday and Saturday nights, and they have to have something to help with the income. And that's a pretty good career to be in. I mean, I'm sure it's got its peaks and its valleys.
It does.
Yeah,
we went through a lot of hard times, but the market's turned around, and Sarah, I wasn't even in the business then, but she was working when when the market fell out, when the bottom fell out of the market, and she really just hustled through it, and everybody would say, I got into it right then, so everybody'd say, you're crazy getting into it right now. I'm like, well, she can do it, I can do it, but that wasn't the truth. I mean, she was just ridiculous, how good she was at it, and she hustled and hustled and hustled, and So now she's gotten back to where the market's good, and I'm just helping her. And it's just
right.
Plain and simple. I mean, it's
go
just,
sell a house, honey.
Yeah,
I got 6 songs to cut Monday with Bart Rose. We're gonna need to write a check.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of your wife, I think the biggest mistake you and I have ever made is the fact that I introduced my wife to your wife.
Yes.
And we have not heard the end of that yet.
Every morning.
We probably cannot tell you things that we've seen that they've done on TV.
A lot.
To be honest with you.
Yes.
It's just not for public consumption, to be honest with you. But one thing that you and I have caught a lot of hell over is the fact that we dressed up in pink tutus to play golf the other day.
Yeah.
And I've had to reiterate to her time and time again, that's not standard golf attire for you and I.
It's not.
It was for charity.
And Steve Helms showed up.
Steve Helms wears one all the time anyway.
Yeah, so we just figured we'd help him out.
It was standard fare for him, but we wore those for charity.
Yes.
To raise awareness to fight breast cancer. So when you see that picture floating around,
it's for a good
it was
cause.
for charity.
Yes.
For charity. So, Michael, thanks, buddy. You want to play another one?
Sure.
All right, come back on the other side. Michael Padgett's going to play live right here on Lone Star Road. Sign my table for me, partner.
Yes, sir.
You bet it. Michael Padgett, everybody.